We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
WTL.
It's time!
WTL.
I think we got a show. Oh yeah, we got a show.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
The J.O.
The J.O., and you are appropriately wearing your beer baseball t-shirt here, sporting the local team, the AAA squad. That is the Storm Chasers.
Oh yeah, it's that time. They're in town this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta cheer on the local guys.
Now, is that you got the mascot there, and I like that mascot. Is his name Stormy, or did they change it up?
No, it's Stormy.
It's Stormy because they got like 18 of them. If you go to a game, there's like all these mascots running all over the place. I can't keep up with them all.
And the shenanigans that these mascots pull. Just be careful. You got to watch your back.
Are they slapping together a pretty decent season? Are they starting off pretty good?
Yeah.
Well, those years of the Hosmers, the Gordos, Gordon wasn't there very much, but you know, Moustakis, that group, didn't they win back-to-back championships? And then 4 or 5 years later, the Royals made it to back-to-back World Series.
And that's the thing. You can usually tell how well the big league club's doing, you know, by how the AAA team's doing. If they're struggling, the big club's usually pretty stacked. And you can see that with the Royals. You see that from year to year. I mean, this is maybe a Royals team underperforming right now, but they're pretty good.
They got some good young talent.
Yeah.
Bobby Wood Jr., right? Bobby Wood Jr.
There you go.
So, all right, well, we got to get back into collegiate baseball.
Okay.
Nebraska baseball. We're on a heater, so we're going to let it ride. We're going to keep rolling here with the Huskers. You remember those 3 bets?
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to talk about last weekend, man.
I have to. You know, I mean, when you're up on the mountaintop, you got to yell it, right? You got to let people know. And I think we're going to see more of the same this weekend, and we'll get into that. But just to remind the folks, I had the ace, Carson Jasa, going over 7.5 strikeouts. He had 9.
Of course.
Of course you did.
Oh, of course.
Of course you did. And you made a great point. You know, Iowa, they like to swing the bat. They do have an order that the team batting average is over 300.
Yes.
Well, that shows me that they like to swing the bat, you know, and wow, they swung the bat enough. They swung the bat a little more than I cared for throughout that weekend.
Well, the offense was piling up on both sides, which played to the advantage of what you were looking for.
Oh, yes, the second leg where, you know, let's remember the weekend before they got swept. All 3 games at Ohio State, and they lost a total combined score of 19-5. And that total was set at 20.5 for the Iowa series. I said over. Yeah. Over. They had 25 runs at the end of game 2.
Yeah, I'll say you were there.
Just crushing the Hawkeyes. You know, Hawkeyes would hit a couple dingers here and there, but Nebraska would have to answer, and they did.
Man, so many times, you know, we get to Iowa week, and it's like, oh, man, it's setting up perfect for us to take care of business, but it's Iowa. This was actually the exact thing that the Huskers needed to get right, especially after that Ohio State series. Took care of business, big win. They're back in the mix of people saying, hey, maybe a regional, maybe not, who knows?
Yeah.
But holy cow, you were on a heater last week.
Oh, and let's not forget the final leg, and that was the plus 250 bet. That was the one I was worried about the most, and that was the series sweep. From going swept to getting the sweep over Iowa, the boys took care of business. Yes, there had to be some late game heroics. There was some nervousness, but it was a packed crowd like you alluded to, or you were assuming, and I think that crowd played a hand in it, and now the Huskers are 23-1 at home.
Oh, it's got to be one of the best in the country, and I mean, their rank shows it. So
Yes, and now that talk, and it's kind of funny, the local media is kind of dancing around. Do we talk about regional tickets, super regional tickets, and who gets, the first crack at those tickets. They're kind of dancing around that. Don't want to jinx the team once again.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Look what happened to Ohio State when we did.
Right.
It's not good.
It's not. So we don't need to talk about it. What we do need to talk about is some very conducive, good-looking bets for the season finale series up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Huskers are taking on the Golden Gophers. Let's see here, May 14th. That's today, later today. And that game got bumped up. It was originally scheduled for 6. It's getting bumped up to 2 o'clock. So be ready for that here shortly after we wrap it up to try and beat some weather, work around some weather.
Okay.
All right. So it's going to be hurried up a little bit. But that still doesn't mean that we can't make a couple wagers here on game 1.
Are you gonna eyeball the ace again? Is Carson gonna throw down
I'm assuming he's going to be the starter, and I'm assuming he's going to get the win. So I'm just going to keep this one simple here, and I just like the. I'm going to take the juice. I'm going to take the run line, the 1.5, the 1.5 run line. Nebraska's going to cover that. You got Carson Jason taking the bump. He's got a really nice. Looks like he's going to be taking on Isaac Morton, who has a 3.43 ERA, a 4-2 record. I mean, he's their ace, but he's nothing special. And Minnesota kind of reminds me of Iowa, but they're just not as good as Iowa. 11-16 conference record.
Yeah, this has been kind of Carson's kind of go in and take care of business.
Yeah.
In the first game of the series. The only thing that worries me, he does walk a lot. He gets a lot of guys on base, but his ability to get out of jams and rely on the defense, I mean, just speaks to the kind of pitcher he is, but kind of competitor he is. But yeah, that's this Minnesota team, not Iowa, and you just look at what they did. And then we skipped right over beating the Blue Jays, beating Creighton on Tuesday night. So
yes,
this Husker team is hitting on all cylinders at the right time.
Felt like a little bit of a dragon being slayed, right? I know it's only a 50-mile drive from Lincoln to Omaha, but they've had their struggles, let's be honest, over the years, taking care of Creighton, whether it was home or away, but this time getting them at Charles Schwab.
Which maybe is just a preview of things to come.
We will get into that later on here. Yes, indeed. Here's a popular wager that I'm starting to see some action on some of these sites, some of these apps that I want to put a warning out there, a little public service announcement, maybe help people steer clear of this one. And it's the popular trap game bet. It's game 2 taking Minnesota's money line. Now, a lot of Nebraska fans probably wouldn't dream of taking this bet, but still you bet with your money, not your heart, right?
Correct.
There's some reasons for this, and it's because people are thinking, well, that I just said it. It's a trap game. It's game 2. Nebraska's already got game 1 under the belt, and even if they don't win game 2, they can still win the series by winning game 3. You also have the home field advantage for Minneapolis. Let's be honest, Nebraska is only 11-16 on the road in Big Ten play. So there are some reasons here. You also have Cruzan, the Minnesota starter, arguably their ace. One of their better ERAs at 3.24. He's projected your Friday starter. So there are some reasons, and in a world you can see why. Okay, I can see this. Middle of the pack, middle of the week, or early weekend money line wager on the home team, taking a home dog. And I like betting the home dog, just not in this spot.
Okay, so you're saying avoid that. Like, let's go Big Red.
Yeah.
On game 2.
I'm saying.
Are you taking the run line again?
Well, I don't know. I'd rather take the run line than the money line on or anything with Minnesota. Okay. I don't have any faith in Minnesota being able to hold home court, especially when there's so much out there in front of Nebraska.
Right.
Coming into the Big Ten tournament, which we'll talk about, but also bigger than just the tournament. They got to win these series. They got to win these games, and I think the coaching staff has made it very clear.
Yeah, you can tell they're on a different gear right now. So that leads us right into game 3? Think we go for the sweep?
Yeah, I like that series sweep. I'm going back to it. It's going to be a plus money bet depending on which sports betting app you want to lean towards. You'll get more and more. And baseball, whether it's MLB or college, maybe more so to a certain extent, you can get some advantageous lines there.
Yeah.
There's so much focus on the NFL, and every week, the limited number of games. Baseball is a whole nother animal, and you can find some value, some really good value in some of these games.
I think you nailed it there with how you can find some good value and some good lines when you look at different sports, especially go to like the college baseball. Yes, the sharps are tried and true, and they really like to sharpen that pencil when it comes to football. But you can if you know what you're talking about and you watch a lot of college sports, you can find another sport with some action that is showing some value your way.
Well, and we have been tuned in to Husker Baseball for quite a while now.
Yes.
And I feel like we kind of know what we're saying, and we weren't feeling too good about the Huskers going on the road to Columbus, Ohio State. I was happy with where they were at. That was the highest they were ranked for the season at that point. But we said on the show, Ohio State has some talent. We said that. I didn't foresee a sweep, but I wasn't as wild about putting any money down as I am now against Minneapolis, against the Golden Gophers.
You got that same feeling you did last weekend with Iowa, and it shows.
Yeah. The Huskers have hit another level. They're starting to believe. Ty Horn's probably going to be Friday's starter.
Yeah, I would say it looks like game 2, which I don't know. Is that going to be a situation where they let him just go, or are we looking at kind of like a bullpen day like you see a lot in the majors now? Where he'll start the game, but maybe we're talking 2-3 innings just to save the arm. I mean, it is interesting how they're using him.
It is interesting, and that speaks to their depth. Another reason I really like Nebraska against this Minnesota team, where the talent discrepancy is too much. And it's at the point of the season where that really shines through. You're not going to get us early. You're not going to surprise us. I just like Nebraska in the series sweep. And that's a good, if you want to call it a problem, what we have right now with Ty Horn getting inserted back in that starting rotation. And he's so versatile.
Yeah, and a good problem you're having is winning all these bets.
Yeah.
Go Big Red.
You're welcome, WTL listeners. You heard the horn. That means we're up against it, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is Beto's Trade Club, where emotional gambling becomes intelligent, data-driven trading. Use code WTL for 30% off. Start your journey with Beto and experience the power of daily AI-driven sports trading. Visit betotrade.club to get started. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
WTL. All right, nice, huh? Got a talk show here, talk show with my mic. I got everything. WTL.
Welcome back to the golf segment of WTL. Where's the line? As always, I'm Zach, here with my cart partner, Tallon. Tallon, what are we talking about this week?
We are talking another major. It's a major week. We got the PGA Championship going on this week. The little brother of the majors, I would call it, but a major nonetheless.
I would definitely say it's probably my least favorite of the majors. I mean, obviously still a big one. I mean, anyone trying to complete their career Grand Slam, you're looking at this, you need this one, and just put yourself in that league of saying you've won a major. But I think overall it's probably my least favorite of the four.
Yeah, it used to be a match play event, which I think would give it kind of its redeeming quality that's missing. You know, each major kind of has its own thing. Augusta, it's the Masters. U.S. Open's kind of the toughest of the toughest of the four majors, and it's open to anyone. Same kind of over in the British Open or the Open Championship, but the PGA just doesn't really have that defining gotta watch thing. Obviously, again, still a major, but it's just kind of missing that something, that little thing to make it special.
I was gonna say, I think one of the kind of things that they try to push for being special is, they let their PGA pros from courses get in there. Big topic that always kind of comes around, and he's qualified again this year.
Michael Block.
We're talking about the Block party again. I've seen some recent interviews where it seems like he's kind of toned himself back. At the start there, when he kind of came out, had those crazy good rounds, I think he got a little high on himself, his head got a little too big for it. But it seems like he's kind of toned it back now. He kind of realizes more so that it's a privilege to get to be here and kind of being in the situation he's at. But How are you kind of feeling about that? I mean, I don't think he's going to do great by any means, but you think he's making the cut into the weekend at least?
He's a fun story. I mean, he had that hole-in-one a couple years ago when he was that 2 years ago when he qualified and had that hole-in-one?
It might even be longer ago. That's how old we're getting at this.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I almost feel bad for Michael Block, which is crazy to say. He's playing in a PGA Championship, a golf major again, but he's a guy that kind of puts his foot in his mouth. He was a huge story. Everyone kind of loved him, and then he just didn't know when to shut up.
No, definitely kind of running his mouth. Another interesting kind of storyline I'm looking at this weekend, coming off the Zurich, Fitzpatrick finally got his card. He's got his 2-year exemption. And then in back-to-back weeks now, he's placed top 10, made more money in these 2 weeks than he's probably made his entire life. So he's on the up and up. So I'm kind of interested to see how he does now in his first major setting. He's rolling into this. He's won the Zurich, and now, like I said, he's placed top 10. Although last week he had the lead going into Sunday. You could kind of almost see that pressure build up, and he could just not finish it out type of thing. But I'm interested to see if he comes into this and he's kind of learned from the past 2 weeks, or if, it's pressure, first major, total miscut type of thing, or if he just kind of levels himself out and just plays his game and kind of hides behind all these huge names that are going for something.
Yeah, you like to think that there's really not a ton of pressure, not a ton of expectations on him here. So he should be able to hopefully play pretty freely. He's been playing well, so just kind of get in that groove and grind out through the weekend and see where you can finish.
All right, so let's kind of talk course here. We're heading up to good old Pennsylvania. Hopefully the weather's just primed and perfect for a major championship, although got to say I do love when it just becomes chaos out there and they have brutal conditions. What are your thoughts on the course this week? Well,
if you asked me like a week ago, I had no thoughts because I didn't know much about it. But as we've got closer, you kind of hear what everyone's saying. It's a shorter course relative to the pros. I think it's only a par 70. Is that right? Par 71.
That sounds right.
But it's a shorter course. It's large greens, so it's going to be just hit one out there and then get on the greens, 1 or 2 putt. It's big sloped greens, so we'll see who can putt, who has the approach game this week. I think that's where you'll find your winner.
Yeah, when it comes to that short game, obviously you need to have the putter on at all times, but I do feel like this season, even more so than previous ones, they're doing a better job of really drying those greens out throughout the weekend. You'll see Thursday, Friday, good conditions, and by the time you're seeing it on Sunday, some of those putts those guys are going at, like, it looks like a short little 5-footer, no problem, and like they'll miss it on a hard break and it rolls out another 5 feet. And so I think given how big the greens are, that's kind of where they can make this a more challenging course for them. If it is a little bit shorter, a little bit easier, say target zone for those drives. If you're driving those greens out, it's going to make it a lot harder for those guys. And then when you start seeing those 3 putts, that's when the meltdowns start coming in.
Yeah, I'm interested because typically they don't make this tournament, regardless of where it's at, they don't make it too difficult of a tournament. You see a lot of low scores. I know when Brooks won those back-to-back years, he had really low scores. Tigers obviously put up some good numbers here. But you don't see it terribly tough. So yeah, like you said, with how big the greens are, they could dry them out. They could make them tough. But I think, it's your guys like Rory and Bryson and Scotty. I think you'll see those guys play well because this course should lay out for them to do just that.
Yeah, so you're kind of leading in on the heavy names there. So let's kind of start diving in on picks. What are some of your long odd ones? Something you're liking kind of far off?
So some guys that had longer odds that I liked was Justin Rose. I'm trying to find the exact number here on FanDuel. He's at plus 250 to even be in the top 20. I think that's free money. He's the guy that's been playing really well this year. He shows up for the majors. I don't think he doesn't necessarily win all of them, but he's always in contention on Sunday. Another guy I really like this week is Justin Thomas. He's won a couple of these PGA championships. He's at plus 230 to finish in the top 20. So those are two of the names, the longer names I guess I like to finish, plays well. What are you thinking?
Yep, I'm kind of leaning into a guy that's been trending pretty well. I've already picked him a couple times this year, but I like Fowler, top 20. He's at a plus 185 right now. You've seen the past couple weekends where he's played okay the first 2 days, makes the cut, and then on the weekend is kind of making surges, and I think that's a big thing, especially in majors. You could go get the lead, but the most important thing is make that cut, stay within a certain distance of first place, but then showing up Saturday, Sunday, because that's where you're going to make that money and really make the surges on that. So I like to see him in the top 20 there.
Yeah. Moving into some top 10 bets, a guy I really like, I think he could be a guy that wins it. He's been playing well. He kind of surged. He's a name that I feel like we probably bring up quite a bit. That's Tommy Fleetwood. He's at plus 250 to place top 10. So I think you could easily see him do that with the way he's been playing as of late.
Yep. Always good and consistent. It's getting the win. That's where you got to stretch. I mean, he finally kind of broke that off last year, but he's a guy that you can trust to be consistent, but I don't know that I ever truly trust him to win anything. Throwing out a big name here. I know Rory already won the Masters this year. I'm sure he'd kind of like to start adding a couple more majors under his belt. For a guy that we talk about as being one of the great players, he's one of the few to ever complete the career Grand Slam. He is truthfully only sitting at 6 majors at this point, which still puts him up there in the top players. There aren't a ton that have won 6 or more. But it is crazy if you look at a consistency standpoint. He's probably been in the World Golf Rankings top 5 for over 10 years now. And he had that early stretch of his career. He won 1, 2, 3, and you're waiting. And then, it took him forever to finally get that Masters. Now he's done back-to-back, but he is only sitting at 6. So I think he's going to push pretty well this week, but I don't think he wins it. But I got him at a top 5 for a plus 190.
So do you think that second Masters kind of really, truly pops the cap all the way off into the second leg of his career where he starts winning these tournaments again? I mean, I know you said you don't like him this weekend, but going forward, do you like him to win any more majors?
I think so. I think that he's got that weight off his back now. He can play more freely. And now he's got so much experience under his belt. I think he knows exactly kind of how he needs to set up his schedule, when he should be playing tour events and just warming up for the next kind of tournament type aspect. That's why I think you're going to see him more consistently competing for these. He's almost got more joy for the game. He has all the weight off his back. It doesn't matter if he never wins another tournament the rest of his life. He's already hit the most important mile marks of anyone for golf. So I think he's going to play more freely. I think he'll be competing. I think you'll see him around this weekend. Like I said, top 5, but I don't think he quite pulls it out this weekend.
So who do you like to win it then?
Going the heaviest heavy dog you could pick in this one, I'm taking Scotty this week. I think when you're looking at it, as of late, he's been a little off. He's had some errant tee shots, not quite getting his close approach shots and his putters does his up and down as usual. And that's usually what separates Scotty, is when his putting's a little bit off, everyone kind of hangs there. But as of right now, he's been having a lot of errant shots, some bad holes, but he's still doing really well. We're oh, Scotty's off right now. But Scotty being off means he's finishing top 10, top 5.
He's finished second in his last 3 starts. It's crazy how well he is playing, but it's just compared to his standards, it's not well.
Yeah, no, and that's what's absolutely crazy is all these videos are breaking down these errant shots where he already comes out of his swing as is, but he's losing the club on these shots, but he's still getting second place right now. So all he needs is a little fine tune to bring that in. And so I think he's going to win this one. He's going back-to-back at it. I like him at plus 390.
Yep, I'm taking Scotty too. I'm right there with you. His last 3 starts, all second place, and that's been second place behind Rory McIlroy, Cam Young, and Matt Fitzpatrick. 3 guys that are also playing really well. Outside of Scotty, I do like Cam Young to get his first major. He's at plus 1,200, and he's just been playing so well lately. He's won some big tournaments, so I'd like to see him get a win here. Another guy I'm rooting for, I'm not betting on. I want to make that very clear. I'm rooting for is Jordan Spieth to get the career Grand Slam. No player has ever finished their career Grand Slam with the PGA Championship. I'm really hoping Spieth can pull it off. Don't see it happening this week, but I'll be rooting for him.
It would be a fun one. It's crazy to think he's been at this for a while now. He almost kind of completed it right away. He got second place that one year, and then he's never really bounced back from that when he was just riding that high from being 22 years old and already a 3-time major champion, and you're thinking he's going to be up there. But should be a fun one this week. It's always good to have a major on for the weekend. As always, thank you for listening. This has been another segment of WTL, Where's the Line?
WTL.
All right, Brain. You don't like me and I don't like you. But let's just do this and I can get back to killing you with beer.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Ian T. Klassen, joined by
the J.O.
and
Zach.
And Tallon.
I was wondering if they're going to hop on that or not. Don't feel bad. The J.O.'s been at this for a while now. So
I was like, your guys' intro just sounds very professional.
We just need cooler nicknames.
We practice throughout the week, though. That's the difference. Yeah.
Now, Zach, you have plenty of nicknames. I know you got some nicknames.
I could roll with it, but I feel like as the golf guy, you got to keep it professional. You're keeping that collared look to it.
Right. Yep. You guys have been crushing it, and we appreciate that quite a bit. helping us out on the golf front there. Tallon, you said you like Cam Young this week.
I do.
And he's been pretty hot, right, the last 3-4 weeks.
He's been really good, yep.
What's this controversy I'm seeing, the rollover ball gamble?
Yeah, so I just briefly saw this week. He's using a new prototype ball.
Titleist.
Yeah.
That it dies after 300. It will not let a ball go past 317 yards. Like, where do they pull this number out of?
It just dies?
It's supposed to be part of, because the PGA Tour, they want to play a rolled back golf ball that doesn't fly as far, which is crazy.
I like big Titleists. I like big Titleist shots, you know?
I've heard that about you.
Yeah. I'm a big Titleist guy.
Yeah, you've always have been.
But I think this is crazy. Like, this is part of the fun, like a cheat code for golf, where you don't even have to juice up the players like in baseball. You just juice up the equipment.
Yeah.
And here they are taking it away. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, as long as I don't have to start playing a rolled back golf ball, I'm fine, because I need all the extra yardage I can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing. They make it seem like, you know, nowadays technology has gotten so crazy that, like, they need to do this to kind of help regulate the game. But, like, they've been going through and breaking down the yardages difference from, like, 10 years ago to now, and they're hitting the ball on average across tour, like, 1.5 yard further. So, like, this rollback that's going to drop it quite a bit is actually going to be detrimental to what the product is that they're putting out there right now. It seems counterintuitive on so many fronts. And I'm gonna throw my little brother under the bus here because he's not on the show, and he's by far and away the best golfer out of all everybody in my family. So he does need to take it a little bit here. But when we played in a league in the high school days, he played with those lady golf balls, and he was crushing some drives. And some old dudes back at the clubhouse like, that's BS. We need to not let him use those. So this isn't the first golf ball controversy that I've seen or been a part of.
Did he tee off at the front tee box as well?
No, we played that all straight, but no, he had the Precept 22 lady. The dead giveaway was that they were pink and purple.
Hey, he did spot out there.
That's that wasn't in the rule book. That wasn't in the handout. So anyway, yeah, but I guess I just don't get this from the PGA though. But I guess we'll see how it works. But Cam Young is going to be using these Titleist rollback balls this week.
Yeah, and I believe he came out and said he hasn't really truly noticed a difference. So I mean, those guys are still going to be pounding the golf ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. The further along we go, everyone gets more athletic. They get bigger. They get stronger. So we'll see.
I think for them, like, they're just in a different league. Like, I've seen Rory hit a old school persimmon wood driver, like 280 right down the middle, no problem. And like, you give that to the average golfer, they're shanking that thing everywhere. That head is so small. Mm-hmm. Like, that sweet spot is barely bigger than the ball. And like, we all use drivers now that are this big. You can hit it anywhere in the face and it's going to pull it back in for you.
Yeah, Jeremy's the big head guy. I'm a big Titleist guguy. You know, golf's going in the wrong direction.
Ever since I was 17, man.
Golf is just so bad on that front. You guys want to talk a little Big Ten baseball? We got the Big Ten tournament coming up here, championships, and the Huskers are on a roll. Zach, you're an alum. How have you been liking the Huskers so far this season?
It's been kind of fun to see. I feel like, over the past couple years, like all the Husker sports, honestly, like, you've been waiting for the build-up. Like, Bolts kind of got there. We win some Big Ten championships, but then, like, we get to regionals and fizzle out. Like, I feel like we lose to UConn somehow UConn's always in our regional, and, like, we drop to them every time. Like, how are we always losing the same team? But it feels like this year they've got a pretty good stride going. It's one of those years where we actually don't have to go win the Big Ten tournament to, like, feel secure about a spot. We're actually in a spot right now, like, we're in. It's just whether we're going to be hosting type of thing. So it's kind of fun to see, and it's nice to see all the sports trending up right now. It feels like everyone's kind of on the up and up right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Softball, ranked number 1 in the nation. Basketball won their first 2 NCAA tournament games. And yeah, you can see losing to UConn in basketball. Like, okay, I get that.
I'd expect that.
But baseball, what are we doing here? And you make a great point there where this isn't a point here where this Will Bolt team has to make a good run or have a good showing to feel good about getting that bid to the tournament. They're basically guaranteed a top 4 spot. And then this year's configuration of the Big Ten tournament, there's a little bit of a back and forth, a factor, and I want to get your guys' read on this because I've always found this interesting. The top 4 spots basically get a 3-day bye. They don't have to play the first basically 3 days of the tournament. So then that means your entire team gets a week or more break. Your starting pitching basically misses that whole rotation. So, yeah, you get the rest, but the rust factor. Like, and baseball is just such a rhythm sport, and you see that. Billy Bean, my Oakland Athletics or Sacramento Athletics, whatever they are, he always said my SH whatever, it doesn't work in the playoffs. Right. It works in the regular season, and that's all due to timing and the rhythms that these teams get in. So I think bettors need to be weary of these top 4 spots, and that includes the Husker due to that rust factor, playing some of these teams that are, maybe hot, catching some wind there in this tournament.
Yeah, the rest versus rust, I feel like, is a debate across all sports. But like you mentioned, baseball being such a streaky sport, your bats get hot, your pitchers get hot. Like, you don't want to lose that. So I don't know.
You don't know? How do you feel, Zach? That's great analysis. That's why
they pay me the big bucks.
You gotta be secure to just be able to say, I don't know. I appreciate that.
That's it. We got to nominate this whole segment for an Emmy. This is gonna win an Emmy for us.
I like it.
I think really, like, when you look across the sports, like, especially like in the college football playoff era, like, now these top teams are getting buys, and up until like this year when Indiana went on, most of those teams that get the buys lose because they're taking like 30 days off, and they're so out of it that they're not ready for these teams that just played 10 days ago that are feeling fresh. And like they come in and like you can just see the rust play out. And same thing in Big Ten baseball. Like you're talking like this double bye, but in basketball you get that triple bye. So like you are sitting for days. And like, if you have that one team going on a run, you might be playing them on their 4th day of games and they're tired. But if you get the team that just comes off the one game, they're not rusty right now, they're in it, and you haven't played for like a whole week at this point, like a lot of those teams end up losing. And so I think these kids are 18 to, I guess, 25 right now with how it goes. 26. But like they're in great, like they don't need, like give them a day, sure. But like when you're giving them a week off, like for them, like their bodies start getting pent up at that point. Like they need to be kind of breaking it in. And so I don't think it's good for you, honestly. Like I think in this case, you would want to be the team with the 1 round bye to where you get a little bit of rest, but like not enough to go cold.
So it's a different sport, but in the NBA, the Thunder just eliminated the Lakers, and the Thunder's yet to lose a game in the playoffs. And they asked SGA, after that last win, what's going to stop you guys? And he's like, the rust. Like, we're battling the rust every series now. And that's what it is. It's the repetition. It's the daily routine, and it gets disrupted when you get these extra days off.
And I think the rust factor, like we're kind of alluding to here, plays a bigger factor in baseball where it is such a timing, especially for the offenses, the batters. So here, this is way out in front. This is the future. I like to kind of put my neck out there a little bit. Sure. And then afterwards, hear it from everybody on X and on YouTube. Those comments, keep them coming. It's keeping me grounded. But I like, for the best overall bet for the tournament heading in here, and I hope this doesn't fall against the Huskers, but even if the Huskers fall into this place, I'm still going to take this bet. And that is to take the 1.5 run line on the underdog on the Friday, May 22nd quarterfinal matchup. That will be featuring the 4 seed, so the lowest of the top 4 that get those 3 buys, that 3-day rest. And that will also be the early game, and they'll be playing against a team that had to play their butts off to get to that point, that's hot, that's riding that wave. So you got a hot team versus a team that's maybe over-rested that's also at the bottom of the bracket for those top 4 seeds.
Man, that bet sounded like a Starbucks order. Like you were like a grande, low chai. That
double
was awesome.
pump.
Double pump. I loved it. But your math makes sense. I mean, you're analyzing who's going to be ready and who's going to be in their routine to take advantage of a few runs early. And I love it.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just like, okay, game number 8, take the underdog.
Sure,
that's right. That's really all I'm getting at here. But I was just diving into it. I'm like, that's a spot right there. That Friday game, the 4 seed, the low seed versus a team that's obviously won a couple games to get to that point in a row.
People forget that you're on fire right now in college baseball. So
people forget.
People have been forgetting that they need reminded. This is the way.
This is the way. What do you guys feel about your overall bets? If the Huskers can get by or make a run here in this Big Ten tournament, they could still host that super regional, and then that puts them in a prime spot to make it to Omaha. And we just saw them beat Creighton at Charles Schwab. Like you said, maybe a little foreshadowing of things to come here for the Huskers.
The Huskers right now are a plus 275 on MGM to make it to Omaha.
Wow.
That puts them in 10th. So
wasn't last week like plus 10,000?
Yes. So the odds makers after the weekend, and maybe your analysis from last weekend, are looking at the Huskers and saying, this team.
They're paying attention.
They're ready for Omaha.
They're paying attention. We have alerted the books, haven't we?
We have.
I don't know, Tallon. You think so? You think the Huskers can do it?
I would love to see Nebraska back in Omaha playing baseball. We need it. How long has it been since we made the tournament?
It feels like forever.
2005?
Yeah, I was saying 20 years.
I was going to say, it's a long time. Long time.
It has been a long time. With that, we're running out of time here, but I got a little bit of a trivia question for you two guys, and I got a little bit of a giveaway that we'll give you guys afterwards for helping us out here. And we like take care of our guests. We got Nebraska playing Minnesota this weekend, series finale of the season. Let's shift gears to football. When was the last time the Huskers beat Minnesota, and who was the head coach at the time?
Had to be Scott Frost when we had Divino Zigbo's senior year, right?
It certainly wasn't Mike Riley's last year when we were up there in Minnesota watching them get their tails kicked.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. I remember Scott Frost game because Zigbo went over the 1,000-yard mark that game, and Stanley hit the 1,000 for receiving. I'm trying to remember what year that would have been, because I don't think we've beat Minnesota since we've had Rule.
No, I don't think we have.
There wasn't many of those Frost wins, so you'd think you'd remember.
Yeah, it would be like a celebration.
Yeah,
I remember we were in the Capital District downtown in we were there. I remember being at a Capital District in that country bar. I can remember parts of it. I remember parts of it. Oh man, I would guess that would have been probably 8 years ago, man. Right?
I'll ride with you. I'm follow you blindly.
I'm going to say Scott Frost about 8 years ago.
You got it. October 20th, 2018. That was Scott Frost's first win ever. First win, like we had righted the ship.
Wow.
53-28. There were some nervous moments. Nebraska, if you can believe it, made some boneheaded plays to allow Minnesota back in the game, but then pulled away there in the fourth quarter to give Scott Frost his first and one of the very few as a D1 coach.
Oh my.
So who would you say got that one right, though? Because I wanted to get a couple guesses.
Well, I mean,
they tag teamed it.
They tag teamed it. Yeah, that's what's tough. They kind of went with it, but
we'll decide it during the break here. So don't go anywhere, folks. This is WTL.
WTL.
Capitalism is the only way, Leslie. It moves our country forward. It's what makes America great. And England okay, and France terrible.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm host Andy Klassen, joined by
the J.O.
and Zach Scott and Tallon Barber?
Tallon Barber.
Barber, yeah. I thought that was his last name. I wasn't sure. I just always called him Tallon, T-Bone, whatever, But thought we'd get you guys back in the fold here. Thank you for giving us that golf insight heading into the PGA Championship. Also talked a little Big Ten baseball tournament. Now we got to get into our wheelhouse here.
Oh, this is our go-to.
And I want to get you guys' thoughts on it as well, because, I mean, we've been on fire basically ever since we started the segment.
Yeah.
That is the prediction markets.
Yeah, good 5-6 months on fire.
And since we started this, there's been about 500 new prediction market apps that have hit. It's okay. We're fine. As a nation, we're totally fine.
Yep, all legal.
Well, yeah, it's federally regulated. So, and the feds always have our best interests at heart, So, yeah, I like that. Big government's great government. So I think it's all pointing in the right direction.
No audit coming your way. I could see how you're angling there.
They'd be so disappointed if not money.
They think your portfolio is pretty small.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's not where that is. We don't need to go there. Well, I do have a prediction, though, one that I feel that's going to be an easy cash for us moving forward, and it's just ripping away from the headlines that have just happened last couple of days here. And that is the NFL, which we love talking NFL, and how they just impact everything. Everything. It doesn't matter. They're on 24/7. Doesn't matter if it's the summer, spring, fall. It doesn't matter if it's in season, out of season. And now the NFL, did you hear about this? They're creating new holidays.
Oh.
What are they calling it? Thanksgiving Eve?
Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve game. Who's playing there?
Is it the Chiefs? I did not.
Rams Packers.
Rams Packers. Thanksgiving Eve. Well, in typical NFL fashion, I don't think they're going to stop there.
No.
And it's not, if they're going to make more holidays, just make them up like Thanksgiving Eve. How many and what are their names going to be?
So, how many holidays?
Yeah, how many holidays is the NFL just going to make up out of thin air just so they can create a hoopla for a game like Thanksgiving Eve?
Well, schedule release night has become quite the deal.
Are they going to play a game there?
Surprise! They could get some UFL teams together, maybe throw something together. It does seem like there's a lot of folks in the NFL that enjoy boating. Maybe they could have some kind of like boating event. It could be like Vikings versus Patriots or something.
I'm thinking like
that could be fun.
What about
one of those big air carriers?
Yeah, play a game like that.
Yeah, just like they did in basketball.
I was going to say, like Michigan State played North Carolina on the aircraft carrier. That was kind of a big deal.
You put a football game on there?
Let's do it. Let's get a deep corner route.
I was thinking, like, I like where you're going with the boating stuff. What about, like, just Catalina Island? Like, have another mixer out there.
Oh.
Invite some execs. Hey, there's a football game going on, too. Kind of kick off the season out there on the West Coast.
I've attended a wine mixer out there.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was...
You're the one that's going to get audited.
It was wild. It was wild. The band was great.
Yeah, yeah. You got a holiday for us, Zach?
I'm just going with the easy one. Christmas Eve. I mean, it's already like a food holiday as is, so why not just tag along with that and then you just take it over? I mean, that's what they're best known for. I mean, you know, Sunday was the day of church, and the NFL said, we're just going to take this day, and then we're going to take a couple other days this week, too. And, I mean, they have no problem moving in. That's what $1 billion will get you. You go in and do whatever you want.
That's what $1 billion gets you?
Well, and I think JC, you know, Jesus Christ, I think he signed off on all. He's like, the NFL is a big thing, guys. We can push church ahead or back, whatever we got to do. Saturday night service, we can do that.
Noted Saints fan, the big JC.
Yeah, there you go. That he was on it with that one. Good job, Tallon. That was really good.
I can promise you he's not a Chargers fan because we've had enough heartbreak.
Christmas Eve. That is on brand. Tallon, do you got one?
I'm more interested in the ones that are not going to have games on, like the Black Monday when all the coaches get fired. Like you mentioned, schedule release day, draft day is now a 3-day event. So I'm more interested in the multi-day events that don't even have games on them that the NFL just takes over.
Wow, yeah. Like, what would that be? Like,
can you imagine
like the underwear Olympics × 2? Like, we're gonna have them do jumping jacks again.
Can you imagine if the NFL made an event out of Black Monday?
Televised. Televised.
The offensive line's just clearing the path for mad moms buying toys and stuff.
Just red zone style, and they're like, well, we've got a new coach that has just been released. That would be awesome.
Oh, I thought you were saying like they would cut to a Target, like, oh, we got another. Oh, over here, Walmart, the Bellevue Walmart.
Oh no, we're firing coaches.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is big news. All right, you got a prediction for us?
You and I are very much on the same page here, on the same wavelength.
Okay.
I was thinking the same, like something very similar on how this Rams-Packers game the night before Thanksgiving was impressive, that the NFL's just inventing days to throw games.
Yeah.
I think we are maybe a year or two away from the NFL stringing together a week in a row where there's a game every single week or every single day of the week. And here's how I think they can do it. I think they can do it. I thought about this. So you've got Thanksgiving, right? And you've got 6 teams playing on Thanksgiving. So the following week, then, you would take 2 of those teams that played on Thanksgiving, just have 2 of them, mix them up, have them play on Tuesday, because you already got Monday Night Football, right? Mm-hmm. And then take 2 more of those teams that play on Wednesday, and then 2 more of those teams and go ahead and play on Thursday, and then it wouldn't take much now to add as a game on Friday and Saturday, and you already have Sunday, Monday. I think it's so possible that we could have an entire week of NFL football on our calendar. What do you think?
I actually like the idea of a Wednesday game a lot more than the Friday game or even the Saturday game. I hate that. Like, I feel like college should be Saturday, high school should be Friday, and I don't think the Pop Warner and Pee Wee football crowd of the Thursdays and Wednesdays would put up too much of a stink if there was an NFL game on Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, right, not at all. And here's like what I was thinking too. The timing's perfect. You've got Thanksgiving. College football is winding down, just about done. So what a perfect kind of transition from college and NFL into it's NFL time and bowl season. Like, that was just the perfect transition. NFL game every day of the week.
We'll just take them all. We're just going to take them all.
That's what $1 billion buys you. Every day of the week.
I think one better with all these international games. I think before long, we're just going to have a day where there's a game kicking off in every hour of the day.
Oh, that would be cool.
Just all over the world. We'll have one in Asia. We already have one in Australia this year.
Yeah.
We just need to get, Eastern Europe? I don't think.
The Rams, right? The Rams are going to be in Australia?
The Rams are all over the place.
Yeah, they are.
They're getting fed down.
I didn't know
they're
such a big draw internationally.
It's definitely a possibility. And truthfully, we're joking about how they could buy it up, but they're not even going to have to, because what's going to happen is we're going to get 7 days. I'm going to need my ESPN Plus, my Paramount Plus, my whatever new streamings come out. I'm going to have to buy 7 streams to watch all 7 days. And there's all their money right there back in their pockets and probably a little bit more.
Well, here's how they can get even more money. I got an idea for you.
Helping the NFL out.
I'm helping the NFL out.
Yeah.
Because if you spread out all these games, then on Sunday, you could have every single day, time slot there, then be just one national game. So you could have a game at 8:30 a.m. that has a secondary broadcast with Nickelodeon. And then you've got your noon broadcast with a secondary, in just one game, secondary broadcast of Pat McAfee. And then the 3:31, Pat McAfee again, because he's great.
Right, yeah, just let him go. Just let him go.
Yeah, and then 7:15 on Sunday Night Football, then you have your coaches broadcast, like John Gruden or something. What do you think?
I love that. And yeah, we never get enough football. And when we're talking NFL, it doesn't stop. It never will stop. So we might be a little too far out in front of this one. It might be more like a 3-year process rather than next season or the following season. But I think we're on the right track here.
Yeah, I think the NFL is going to come calling. Or they
need some execs.
We already gave them the idea. So.
Yeah. Well, just like we alerted the books to Nebraska baseball, they finally took notice, and we might have done the same here for the NFL.
Here we go.
There we go. Well, that about do it for us this week's at Where's the Line. Be sure to check us out over on YouTube in our short videos that we release each and every game day, giving you the latest edge possible. Also, follow us over on ESPN Tri-City Radio and their Facebook page. We got all sorts of content going out on that, as well as X. Big thank you this week goes out to Zach and Tallon, the golf guys, giving us the goods on the PGA Championship. Also heard about a controversy, you guys, real quick. They cut down a bunch of trees. Everyone's all mad about it. It's, like Roy was saying, it's too easy. There's too wide. Like, it's making the drives too easy for everybody.
Courses change up all the time. I mean, there was a few years ago at Augusta, they lost one of their signature trees, and it was replanted within 12 hours. And everyone's like, where do you find a tree that big, and how do you get it here? So PGA can make changes anytime they want to.
That's wild.
Just move a tree.
Trees just come and go.
We can just move an 80-foot pine tree. We're fine. It's fine.
Lorax out
Don't
there.
worry about it. No, I feel like it's a little on brand for Rory and a couple other guys. Yeah, it's too easy. Shut up.
You can't have Rory saying it's too easy. That's wild.
Get out of here. I hope he loses in dramatic fashion now. And who'd you pick as the winner?
I took Scotty as winning.
Scotty, do you have Scotty too?
Scotty, and then I tailed it with Cam Young.
I'll go with Scotty and Cam Young too. Why not?
I'm going to take Rory then.
You would.
It's too easy.
I do like that mindset. Yeah. I will say that.
That's what the prediction market wants you to do.
Oh, zing. For J.O., I'm Andy Classen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.